The address of Mr. Borah of Idaho. Mr. President, Honorable James H. Brady, late Senator from the state of Idaho, was born in the state of Pennsylvania, June 12, 1862. When yet a child, he went west with his parents and located in the state of Kansas. His experience was that of most young men coming into the West and seeking for better things. He was educated at the public schools, taught school for several years, afterwards attended the Leavenworth Normal College. He became interested in the newspaper business and afterwards engaged in the real estate business. He moved to Idaho in 1895, where he immediately took an important place in the industrial affairs of the state, giving his attention particularly to the development of irrigation projects, farming, the development of power sites, and banking. He was very successful as a businessman and came to be a man of wealth, as men of wealth are measured in that part of the country. He was active in business affairs and very successful in all business matters up to the time of his death. He became interested in politics shortly after his coming into the state, and at once took the position of a leader in the Republican Party. He was a delegate to the Republican National Conventions in 1900, 1908, and 1916, and also chairman of the Republican State Central Committee of Idaho from 1904 to 1908. He received the entire vote of the Republican Convention for governor of the state of Idaho in the fall of 1908 and was elected governor November 3rd of that year. During that time, he also acted as president of the Trans-Mississippi Commercial Congress. When Senator Weldon B. Hayburn died, Mr. Brady was elected January 24, 1913, to fill out the unexpired term. He was re-elected by the vote of his people November 3, 1914. Mr. President, as governor of the state, Mr. Brady devoted his talents particularly to the organization of those departments of our state government which have to do with what might be called the business interests of the state. In fact, under our Constitution and under our state organization, the governor of the state becomes, in a large measure, the business manager or director of the state. The senator devoted his time particularly to the concrete questions which had to do with the development and growth of his state. He did not shirk, either in time or with his reference to his personal expenditure, taking care of those things which had to do with the development of our undeveloped resources and inviting citizens from different parts of the country to share with us in the development of those resources. Senator Brady was a successful businessman, painstaking, thorough, and of untiring industry. He was always generous with his means. It is safe to say that no undeserving charity, no needy individual was ever turned away without some assistance or some help. He gave continuously and generously to all things which had to do with the betterment of society and to augmenting the happiness of his fellows. When he came to the Senate, he gave to the public the same untiring energy, the same close, conscientious study and consideration of public questions that he had given to his private affairs. He seemed to transfer all of his energy and ability and business training to the service of his state and the government, his attention to duty. His close application to public affairs, even after he was informed of his shattered health, was a matter of commitment by his colleagues and of anxiety to his friends. He was not willing to take his needed rest. He felt that his duty was here in the Senate, and faithfully he remained at his post until actually confined through broken health to his room at home. Genial, always considerate of his colleagues, broad-minded and generous-hearted, he was respected by all who knew him. When the war came, Mr. President, no one in this chamber gave more undivided support to the great conflict in which we were engaged than did Senator Brady. It will always, perhaps, be a matter of debate in the minds of senators as to just what their duty is toward the executive department of the government in time of conflict. Some may entertain the option or opinion that they should still exercise their independent judgment with reference to matters which touch, directly or indirectly, the prosecution of the war. Others feel it is more their duty to yield to the suggestions of the Commander-in-Chief of the Army and Navy. The matter is not a subject of debate here and now, but it is safe to say that Senator Brady concluded that it was his duty to follow the Commander-in-Chief, and, without hesitation, he did so in all instances which had to do with the support of the late war. His death was particularly sad. Just entering upon his second term as senator, while yet a comparatively young man, with a beautiful and happy home, the future seemed full of promise. But it was at this time that the dread summons came, and he, responding with the same cheerfulness, the same uncomplaining fortitude, went with the silent messenger to the undiscovered country.